Takže teraz už vítam medzi nami, teraz takto oficiálne, má to aj na tričku, moju kolegyňu, trošku aj šéfovú, lebo je koordinuje strednú a východnú Európu, takže najčastejšie sa stretávam s ňou, ale nie len, keďže Slow Food, to sa v priebehu dňa dozviete, má aj aktivity hlavne smerom k trhom, robíme platformu Náš trh, čiže sú tu aj niektorí zástupcovia trhových komunít, takže aj o tom bude reč a na to sú zase aj kolegyne, ale myslím si, že Viktória je, aj mi teraz trošku rozumie, že lebo je z takých končín, kde, však ona vám povie, kde ten náš jazyk trošku rozumie. Takže odovzdávam jej slovo a verím, že to bude zaujímavá, inšpiratívna prezentácia. Užite si ju.
Thank you so much, Petra. And a special thanks for the interpreters, so that I'm able to be here today and to talk to you. I'm coordinator of slow food in Central Europe and Eastern Europe in Bra, in the slow food headquarters. And I work for many years with the network, promoting projects, supporting the activities and organizing the events. And as Petra mentioned before, and some of you know, that slow food is a movement, it's a network, it's an organization. And Slow Food was born in '89 as an international movement, so we are more than 30 years old. And it's a real pleasure to be here today and to be part of a group of people who care for land, who care for Mother Earth, and who care for Terra Madre, as we call it. Because either we are activists, scientists, students, farmers, producers, processors, or consumers, representatives of local authorities, we all care for one goal. We care for the planet, we care for the soil, we care for the earth, and we care for the future of the future generations. And Slow Food is working to protect our future. Our goal is to guarantee good, clean and fair food for all, for everyone. What we mean by good? Good is good for us and is good for the planet and is good for animals. Clean is clean for the planet, so the methods don't harm the earth. And fair is the fair compensation for those who produce and for those who buy, because sometimes we hear that the quality food, unfortunately, is expensive. But if we look into the roots of the problem, it's not the food that is expensive, it's the whole chain that makes it expensive. In reality, the good food is not expensive, but it should be valued in many, many occasions. And, well, we are still there. Yes, we are still there. And the idea of slow food is very simple. Slow food is about food that brings pleasure, but doesn't harm the planet. And if you think about today's habits, today's consumption, you will understand that all our everyday choices are harmful for the planet. And our goal is to make so that it's not ruining the planet, but it's saving it and it's protecting it. And now, coming from slow food to slow food farms. In our perspective, slow food farm is a reply to the problems that we are facing now. But what are the problems? I think that you see it in your everyday life. The large-scale production and the modern system of distribution is everywhere. We see it in the supermarkets where we have only 3 varieties of apples, for example. Or we see it in the consumption of fish, because we consume only 3 types of fish and all other varieties of fish are under-consumed. We see it in the consumption of maize, for example, of corn. There are many, many cereals all over the world, indigenous, traditional, that can be part and the base of our diet, but for some reason we consume maize. If you think about your diet, you don't say that, oh, I eat maize, I eat corn every day. But if you look into the ingredients, you will notice that every single product, almost every single product that you are consuming, if it's a highly processed or just processed product, contains corn, because it's sweet, it's color, it's the texture, and everything is a corn. So sometimes we think that we are a corn man, because we consume corn and nothing else. Although there are dozens of cereals that can be consumed instead of corn to bring our diet to a natural and traditional way. So the consumers, unfortunately, are lost also, because they would like to look for good, clean and fair food, but they don't have choice. We are about choice. If someone wants to consume junk food, it's fine for us, but there should be a choice. And unfortunately, we don't see this choice in the supermarkets. Unfortunately, there's no choice, and we are struggling for the choice, so that people can find quality food, good food, clean food, fair food for their self-consumption, or they can choose to produce it without being obliged by the multinational companies to buy seeds, to buy chemicals, to buy different substances, because otherwise they won't be able, for example, to access the subsidies, or they won't be able to access the market. We are not about fighting someone, as Petra said, we are not about making revolution or war with someone. We are about having a choice. And the reply that Slow Food proposes is that small-scale producers have voice. They are heard, they are represented, and they are able to produce the food that is good for us, good for planet, and good for the producers. That is why Slow Food came out with the idea of the international network of slow food farms. And practically it's the reflection of all what Slow Food did within our 30 years of existing. And to go more into detail, what is a slow food farm network? Can you imagine that all farms that exist don't harm the planet? It might be a heaven, so we are not ruining the planet, we are saving the planet. And it is the world that we envision, it is the world that we want to see. We work through local communities, we work through our activists, as Petra here, and she is a wonderful example of what Slow Food is doing on a local level. We have around 1,000 local groups all over the world, and we are present in 160 countries for now. And as a Slow Food Network, what we do, we are connecting the farmers with the network that we build throughout the years. Because everyone can produce according to agroecological principles. But the thing is that these producers, sometimes they are feeling to be left behind. They feel they are not represented. They feel that they are alone. And our goal, as the international network present in so many countries is to unite them and to make them feel represented and to make them feel to be part of the network. So what we do? We help them to join together, and we use all our resources to amplify their voice on all levels. We have here some representatives of our network who went to Brussels and who went to talk to European Commission. And it was possible because we have the international network of slow food farms, and the critical mass of farms that we already have in 80 countries all over the world, it helped us to make them be heard by the European Commission. And there was a dialogue between the representatives of Member of Parliaments and our slow food farmers. And quoting one of the farmers that was present here, he said that if it wasn't for Slow Food Farm Network, for me it was impossible to go and to talk to one of the MPs of my country. And thanks to Slow Food Farm Network, now I can do it. Coming to the numbers, we started in 2024 as first step of introducing the Slow Food Farms Network to slow food activists. And we started with mobilizing our most active slow food members. And we formed 500 accelerators, as we call them, because they accelerate the creation of the Slow Food Farms Network in 80 countries. And as the figure of last week, we had 400 farms in all these 80 countries. In some countries we have more farms, in some countries we are represented just by one farm, but we already organize trainings for them. For example, tonight, as our conference is ended, there will be a training about protein transition and agricultural principles in good, clean and fair farming, organized by our experts and by our network. At the end of November, there will be an exchange between international and Greece slow food farms. We organize online or offline trainings. We invite the farmers to our events, and we organize events especially for the farmers. And that is how we see the exchange of knowledge between the farmers. And we see our contribution in this sense. Why would we talk about, let's go further? Okay. Why would we talk about agroecology? But agroecology is not only about production method. Agroecology is about saving the planet in a very peaceful way. If we talk about figures, because I know that we like figures and numbers and facts, agroecological farm saves up to 1/3 of emissions, produces less, 1/3 less emissions than a normal conventional farm. Agroecological farm produces 2, 3 or 4 times more diverse and various species or varieties than a normal conventional farm. And talking about, for example, our health, if you think about the pesticides, the chemicals, the substances that are used in conventional, large-scale industrial farming, call it how you prefer, in the agroecological farming, the quantity is null or less. So it means that our health is better because we consume the produce produced in agroecological way, and it means that we spend less for the doctors. We don't think about it every day, but there are very many hidden costs in what we consume. Because we might go to the McDonald's and have a hamburger for €2.50, I don't know what are the prices. Because I didn't mention, but all over the world there are 1 million Slow Food members who have the membership card, and there are other millions of people who follow Slow Food in some way, either on social media or visiting our events or participating in our activities. We also promote the farms through our channels. We have the list of the farms on the internet site of .com. And some years ago, Slow Food site was the winner of most visited website dedicated to sustainable food in Italy. So you may imagine that it is visited and the spread is quite high. We create videos. If you would like to go to our Slow Food Farms session on the site, we create videos. We pay as Slow Food to video makers and to photographers to visit our farms and to promote them. We make photo sessions, we invite farmers to our events, so that is our contribution to their visibility. And we connect them to the network all over the world as well. But apart from farmers, because farmers produce good, clean and fair food, and we are happy with this. Let's talk about the consumers. The consumers search good, clean and fair food. They understand what is the responsibility of their choice. They understand what's the difference between agroecological production and the conventional production. And let's go even broader. We think about the planet. Sometimes we joke, talking about slow food, that our work is to save the planet. But in fact it is. Because if we don't start thinking about small steps now, we won't have the future for our children and for next generations. If you think about agroecological production, you will understand that it influences the climate. It produces less chemicals. It helps to save the biodiversity. And in very small steps, it helps us to reach the better future for everyone. If we go a little further, and still further, okay, and here we are. What can every one of us do? What do we ask everyone to do? Because it's not only about farmers, it's about everyone. It's about local institutions, it's about students, it's about journalists, activists, consumers. We ask you to look around and to help us to broaden the Slow Food Farms network. We created several tools that help to broaden the network, so that help the farmers to produce what they want, that help to search for the good, clean and fair food for the consumers, that help us to save the planet at the end. We have an agroecological brief, that's like our position paper on agroecology, because maybe you've heard that different international organizations, they see agroecology from different perspectives. There are different principles of agroecology listed by different organizations. From our point of view, agroecology is good, clean and fair for everyone. So there's an agroecological brief that is available on our site. There's a handbook that helps our activists to talk to farms that can be and can become slow food farms. That's an nomination form, but it's not like a ballot points that you choose. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. It's a document that helps to open dialogue with farmers, because we are not criticizing and we are not judging anyone. If a farm is 75% in line with the agroecological principles, this farm is absolutely welcome to our network, and our task will be to accompany this farm to become better, to become cleaner and to become more fair in their everyday work. And our appeal is, look around, think about where your food comes from, and come back to us, helping us to broaden the Slow Food Farms network, so the future will be good, clean and fair for all. Thank you very much. I hope that we will have time to talk. I'm here for the whole day. And welcome to slowfood.com site to broaden the Slow Food Farms network in Slovakia.
Keby ste mali ešte otázky, nejaké na Viktóriu, tak kľudne možno aj teraz, ak by boli nejaké dotazy. Dúfala som, ale nie, nevadí. Bude tu celý deň, takže môžete sa s ňou porozprávať. Takže a samozrejme, že rovnako ako slowfood.com môžete navštíviť aj slowfood_Pressburg, to je trošku taká zlámanina slov, starý názov Bratislavy, keďže ideme ku koreňom, pressburg.sk a tam sa tiež dozviete o tom, čo robí veľký Slow Food. Takže ďakujeme. Grazie.